Now, talk to me about this. You start going through this information, Sondra, and you're looking at it. And, I mean, we've heard about it on Coast to Coast, certainly over the years, and on other shows like this, and our show, MK Ultra mind control, these possibilities. In some ways, it just sounds too fantastical to be true. But as you're reading this and researching it and looking at this papers, tell me what your initial reaction is to the findings.
Well, let's jump right in on it. Looks too fantastical to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's an important part of the research I've done and the writing I've done, the teaching I've done in this book, which I included at the end. And that's an analysis of some of these linguistic weapons that have been contrived to protect deadly secrets. In other words, these are devices that work automatically and in perpetuity. They don't have to be manned. They automatically work. I call them shields because they invisibly repel investigation of crimes. Now, in this case, I call this one the Shield of Incredibility. And in that case, we'll have factors that are difficult or impossible to believe. The classic example of the way this has been perpetrated is when the operatives will dress up like aliens or witches, or they might don a white rabbit costume, as Louis Julian West was known to do when he was putting children through traumatic programming. And so, therefore, when the person tries to talk about what happened to them, immediately the shield of incredibility is thrown up around that entire witness. And from then on, everything they have to say is discredited because it's considered tainted by incredibility. Okay, that's one of the shields. I go on to discuss a couple of other ones, but I would like to say that this is not an accident. This is built in.
Right, so there's this plausible deniability. Listen, how can this be true? I mean, there was a giant white rabbit or there was an alien. It just makes everything that this person's about to say sound insane, and the credibility factor goes out the window. Right.
Anyone who continues to listen to that witness will also suffer that the person like myself, the writer or the investigator, who listens to these stories then becomes tainted by, quite frankly, saying that they are crazy and you are crazy too for listening to them. Now, I want you to realize I'm very well aware that there are crazy people. There are crazy things, and quite often things that are incredible are that way because they're not true. And that's our common sense world that we live in, and that we're taught to experience because we go on our experience, and that most people go their entire life without encountering anything that is contradictory to that basic principle. But once you start out by saying someone that you've known intimately for years also has a secret life of perversion and crime on the side, and you have absolutely no idea about it, and once you've dealt with something like that, you have to begin to understand that there are ways that perception works, and there are ways that the mind works. And there's a phenomenon that DIANNE, my co-author, pointed out to me. Things are secret, or as they say, occult or secret, not because an effort is made to hide them, but because people do not want to know.
Why do you think it's that people don't want to know? Because it's just too horrific to begin to even comprehend?
The shield of repugnance.
Okay.
Things can be done that are so disgusting that the witness is inhibited from reporting them. This has been done to me. Things have been perpetrated to me that I can't talk about because they're too disgusting. And when you report something disgusting, that disgusting information comes from your mouth, and from then on it is always linked to you. And so therefore it rebounds against you as the witness or victim, that you're the one who's bringing that bad subject into the conversation. Okay?
All right.
So that effect works as well. And the shield of repugnance comes in place when something is so disgusting that you naturally recoil from it. You say, I'm just not that kind of person. Y'all take care of this. I got something else to do.
Right.
I don't like to, or what did Barbara Bush say? I don't want to spoil my beautiful mind with things like that. So if you are going to perpetrate things and you embed in them elements that are so repugnant that the witness is afraid or upset to even mention them, that will enable you to continue to perpetrate these crimes. That will cover them up in advance. That's premeditation.